Hello guys, and welcome to my series Undertale in Retrospect, where I take a deep dive into the game, well, Undertale, so you can see what made this game special to me, and shit on the mind of an 11-year-old that originally played and fell in love with the game. Okay, but for real though, look at my boy's fresh cut. Shawty do be looking like a K-pop star. Damn! First, let me explain the setting of Undertale. One day, war broke out between the two races, modern America be like. After a battle, you know what? Fuck it, I'll summarize. War broke out between humans and monsters, and then humans won. They decided to steal the monsters underground, cause fuck you, and the memory is long forgotten, except for a tale of a mountain. But you, with your fuck-all wisdom, decide, hey, let's go inside this mountain, and you fall into a cavern underground. Got it? Okay, good. You wake up finding yourself in a new place, a ruin, and walk towards the right into a dark room. At this point, you're like, damn bro, where the camera's at? This gotta be a prank. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, at this ground comes this bitch-ass flower, and he's like, hey kid, you like game mechanics? I don't know what this has to do with America, but sure. So you delve into it, and I'd say this is where one of my favorite aspects of the game comes up, the combat system of Undertale. The combat system of Undertale is probably the most important part of the game. It's not difficult to understand, but it makes up 99% of all the interactions, and even has significance in the plot. I'll touch on that later on. The fight option is pretty straightforward. Get your opponent's health to 0, and they get fucking vaporized like Thanos at the end of Endgame. Act is a little bit more complicated. It is where you fight with the enemy and give them a certain debuff, making the fight easier, or it opens them up for a spare, which can end the fight. The item is simple. It's just your standard item inventory. And then Mercy is where you can spare your enemies, ending the fight if it is yellow, or you're like a fucking bitch. I'm sorry, I'm using too many swear words. My Christian family is about to stone me. Some overall criticisms of the game mechanics were the fight sequences at the end of your turn. They seem clunky and out of place and sometimes outright frustrating, but there is a reason for it. You see, this is a subtle hint that this isn't your standard RPG game where you go fuck all and kill everything and blah blah blah. Okay? This gameplay mechanic is telling you that fighting and combat is a drag not just for you, but for the enemy as well. This will play a major part in the story later on as well. So after that little lesson in game mechanics, the flower named Flowey? Are you... what? Go psycho on your bitch ass, until Mamariel comes in to save the day. She's a sweet woman who cares for you, and even holds your hand through the spikes. She made me realize, hey, not all monsters are bad, just like all humans aren't bad. She shows you kindness of the world and even bakes you a pie, and allows you to stay in her house. She's a sweetheart, and I really love this part of the game because it reminds me of my own mother. I'm so upset that the fanbase had to do so much Rule 34 art of her, it's not even funny, oh my god. Yes. Yes. Come on, come on. Yes. Alright, almost there. Are you winning, son? So, halfway through the ruins, she decides to run some errands to make that aforementioned pie. You wander through the ruins, encountering various traps and fighting enemies. But it's nice because it finally gives you some healing items that you so desperately need. You eventually encounter the candy room, which I've dubbed it, and in there it says, only take one candy. However, like a bad girl, like a really, really bad girl, you take multiple, which causes this. I've had enough of your rule breaking, you annoying brat. Fine. There was nothing left for me anyways. Yeah, the candy bowl had enough of your bullshit and just took a swan dive off the pedestal. Suicide is no joke. Seek help if you are hurting. Ashamed of your actions, you leave the scene scarred and potentially needing therapy. Eventually, you navigate to the humble abode of Toriel's. She heals you, and then you take a nice nap. In the morning, you awake, and you see a slice of pie left for you that Toriel baked. You then go talk to her, and she says she has something to do, and she rushes to the basement. You then follow her down. Menacingly, she tells you to turn. But you're a bad girl. A real bad girl. So you decide to continue pursuing her. She says that she wants to live with you, and the only way you can win is to kill her and leave like the rest of the humans. This was a crushing moment for me, and I felt guilty because she had only done what was right for me the entire time I was underground. I felt betrayed, and everything she had taught me was thrown right out the window. No, there wasn't an ounce of bad in this woman, and I was confident in it. I unwillingly took the fight and refused to fight her at all. And eventually, after I took enough hits, she refused to fight as well. Neither of us could fight, so we sat in a stalemate. Finally, she gave me a hug, which was the culmination of our time together, and we left with a sour goodbye. Because even though I really wanted to, I know I couldn't stay with her. This was my thought process when going through the ruins, and it honestly broke my heart when I had to leave. Or if you're dumb, you could have done this. Hey, so thank you for watching my video. Undertale is one of my favorite games, and I wanted to share the experience and like why I enjoyed it myself. Thanks for being patient for me for not being around in a while, and I'll hopefully be making another one of these. And if you enjoyed any of the other music that wasn't Undertale music, well, you can go check out my SoundCloud. Link will be in the description, and yeah, thank you, and I'll see you later.